Clio is the muse of history. Clio's name is derived from the Greek word Kleio, which means to celebrate or to make famous. Kleos is a noun derivative of this word, meaning undying glory or fame. This is one of the most sought-after boons by mythical and historical Greek heroes. To be remembered in history is both a form of objective immortality, while also, perhaps, a divine sign that a person has attained a true rebirth in some blessed realm. In classical art, Kleio is depicted as a regal woman with an open scroll atop a chest, a pillar, or a pile of books. This is fitting for the Muse of History, for history begins with record keeping. Kleio's name fits her sphere of art. Undying fame and celebration is gifted to a hero by history. A hero can have the greatest feats, but if their exploits are not documented in the record, and if historians do not laud and celebrate the hero, their deeds are likely to be forgotten, and any glory they earned, lost. Therefore, it is Kleio who immortalizes heroes and ensures their deeds are remembered. To be remembered is to live forever. Hesiod claims that he met the Muses of Helicon. In this meeting, they told him they know how to tell a compelling fiction, but sometimes they have a mind to speak the truth. This is said of all the Muses, before they were identified with specific artistic domains. If we apply this to the Muse of History, what does it tell us? How much of history is fiction, even if it is built upon a foundation of truth? Some of our greatest modern authors, such as Tolkien, describe his artistic interest as history, real or imagined. He preferred history over allegory. One could describe epic fantasy as imaginary history, or the history of a fictional world. Could we then say that Kleio is indeed the muse of epic fantasy prose, or is that perhaps the domain of another? Tell me what you think in the comments. We can take these questions in the other direction as well. If history is mostly fiction, and indeed if there is such a thing as imagined history, whether that is in a fantasy novel or in an embellished narrative that is partially true, then what is myth? How is myth not history if history itself is already largely mythical? These questions lead us to some interesting considerations, and it all leads back to the name of the Muse. Kleio is the muse of celebration and everlasting fame, and this makes her the muse of history. Theologically, then, these would be the essence and soul of history: celebration and everlasting fame. While it is good to seek truth and to learn from mistakes, that is a very modern conception of history. Our ancestors considered history to be more of a way of celebrating those who came before them. There is a valuable lesson in this. In our modern skeptical and thus cynical reading of history, we have lost the most human aspect of this discipline. It is through history that we remember those who came before us, and we celebrate those who allow us to live today, who give us all that we inherit, from our language to our culture to our folk psychology. These ancestors of ours deserve to be celebrated for all we have received from them. Studying history and studying myth as history is therefore something of a sacred duty. It is through these studies that we keep our ancestors alive. This has been Axis Mundi with another Sylvan Education video. Thank you so much for watching and listening.